Hey guys, CJ here, PBX How To's, and today, this video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your G700 gateway using command line interface and a little bit of the web interface using your S8300. Okay, so this is kind of a neat way of being able to upgrade your G700 system using the S8300 as a TFTP server. You can set up your laptop, but that's kind of, it can get into a headache, you know, firewalls and other stuff that's on your laptops, the unknowns. But at least this way can give you a step-by-step process of upgrading your G700 using that S8300. All right. So one thing to take note before we move forward, and that is this is a service affecting task, meaning what you're going to do is you're going to take your system out of service. Okay. So if you have live phone calls, if you have a call center, if you have basically, if you're using this system in production, make sure you do this at an out of production time frame, or you have approval to do so. I cannot be held liable for your tasks if you do it when you're not supposed to. Okay? So don't be silly. All right, let's move on. What you want to do first is you want to go to support.avaya.com. Let me get there. Support.avaya.com. All right. From here, you want to log in using your registered username, all that good stuff. But you can go, once you do that, you want to go to latest TN circuit pack server. So you type late in the search, and it's going to prompt you the very first thing. If you click on that, and then you go down here and you say latest TN circuit pack server, blah, 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 blah. You click on that first one. It's going to open up a new window, and it's going to give you the latest date of these files that are released. And the ones you're going to take note, remember, we're getting 3 files for this upgrade. The 3 files we're going to want are the G700, the firmware, and the device manager. Okay, so we want the device manager, we want the firmware, and we want the G700, because the P330 is the Cajun stack that's based on the old hardware of the G700. These newer gateways are based on newer hardware. They're not based on this G700 Cajun stack, because the gateways you can do a lot of cool things with are the old Cajuns. You can, you know, the device manager. Anyway, let's move on. You need those files. Once you have those files, you want to get into your PBX or get into the stack portion of the PBX. Now, if you don't know how to do this, reference my previous video that I talked about how to get into the stack of your G700 or your gateway, okay? But once we're in, you're going to see right here, welcome to P330 SW version. So this shows you the software version of the stack itself. All right, but we're going to show you some other things on how to do that. You log in with root, you log in with your root credentials, and you get to the P330-1 super prompt. Once you're at this prompt, you want to type dir. When you do that, it's going to show you different things in here, a lot of information. But what you want to find is you want to look for the EW archive, which is right here. That's the current version we're sitting on today, okay? Or the stack version, okay? So this is the version you want to take note of, because you need to take note of 3, and you want to verify it against what you're downloading, because you don't, you know, if you already have it, you don't want to download it again. But take note of the EW archive. Now, there's a document I have referenced in the description of this video that's my steps on how I did this video, but it gives you a step-by-step or a summary step process on how to upgrade your G700 using the S8300 TFTP directory. Are you still with me? I also have a link in the description to the official Avaya document on how to upgrade a G700, and it goes into full detail. So if you have any questions, or you're in the middle of something and my notes aren't explaining it, again, mine are just guidelines, notes, high level summary. Please utilize the G700 document that Avaya releases out on how to upgrade the system. Okay, can't be held liable for your silliness if you guys do something silly. All right, that's all on you, but I'm just helping you get there so you understand what to look for, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to teach you how to go find it. So you go find the things that you need to do so you guys can understand how to manage this system. All right, so let's move on. The next thing you want to do is you want to do show image, if I spell it right, version. And this is going to show you the firmware version of the G700 itself. Remember, this EW archive right here is this file right here, 4.1.2. Okay, that's the latest one I have on here. Or I'm sorry, the device manager. All right, the device manager. This is the one we're going to upgrade to for the EW archive, and this is the firmware that we're going to upgrade to. Even though I already have it at 4.1.2, I'm going to upgrade it again, so it doesn't hurt anything. I just want you to be able to see the steps, the process. So EW archive, that's the one that's going to go to 6.0.1, and this one's already at 4.1.2, but we're gonna, or 1.12, but we're gonna upgrade it again just so you can see the process. All right. Once you've verified those, you want to go get into the MGP. All right. So to do this, you type session MGP, and it's going to take you there. Now, what you see is you're going to see the media gateway processor, and it shows you the firmware version of the system, 30.21.0. And as you can see, hang on, my mouse is kind of acting funny, 30.21.0. I'm at the latest, but again, I'm going to show you how to upgrade it so you see the steps. But that's the version you're referencing off of. And the bottom of my document will actually show you all the different areas where to find this. But how to see this for sure is you type show mg list config. And the line you want to be looking for is the first one, the G700. And you want to look under firmware vintage, and you want to see the firmware vintage. Okay, so that way you have them all three noted, because again, we're going to upgrade three things. Now, when you upgrade the G700 stack along with the firmware, that's going to be upgraded in one step. This is a second step after you reset the gateway the first time. All right. Again, I know this gets down into the weeds. This is very deep and technical. So if you're not comfortable doing it, don't worry about it. Watch the video a few times and you can understand how to do it, okay? So from this prompt here, what we want to do is we want to make sure you have all the files that you're going to download, and you want to get into the 8300 itself, all right? So once you are in your 8300, and I'm going to go ahead and log in. Again, depending on your version of CM, your communication manager, or your Avaya Aura, you may have a different screen, but the essential process steps are pretty much the same, okay? You want to log into your 8300. It may be a red screen, it may be a blue, depends on what version you have, but regardless, the steps are exactly the same. Now, in the red version, you're going to have some links up at the top here, little hover menus that prompt up. If you're in the older version like this one, you're going to click on the maintenance portion of the system, all right? So once you get into the maintenance, let me move this window so you can actually see it a little better. Hang on. All right. You want to go into this left-hand navigation, and in here, and this is for every version, you want to look for a download files link. You want to click on that, okay? When you click on download files, you want to select this first radio button, and you want to go to you want to click browse for your 3 files, because we're only bringing in 3 from your computer, okay? So I'm going to do that. So let me bring these in here real quick for time's sake. Hang on. Okay, now I've populated the 3 firmwares that I want for each of my components of the system I'm going to be upgrading. So when you do this, click on download. When you click on download, it happens pretty fast, but you can see the following files have been successfully downloaded to your server. Now these are sitting in your FTP directory. They're not sitting in your TFTP directory yet. Okay, they're sitting in your FTP directory. So you need to move them to the TFTP directory. All right, so that's it of the web portion for this exercise. So you can go ahead and minimize this and then go back into your stack. All right, so from here, what you want to do is you want to move these files. Now again, based on the steps that I did, you should already be at the MG-001-1 prompt or the MGP prompt. You want to get into to the MGC. So from here, you type session MGC, and this takes you into the CM, or the communication manager portion of the system at the bash command. Okay, so basically you use the same login that you use to get into the web portion of the system. You use it here. You just type you hit enter for VT100, and now I'm at a bash prompt. Okay, so to verify what directory you're in when you log in, you type pwd. This is a Linux command, and it's going to show you the directory you're in. I'm in var home defty, var/home/defty. I need to get into the FTP directory. So the way you do that is you type cd space slash var/home/ftp/pub. When you do that, it's going to take you right back to the prompt. Okay, if you do it wrong, it's going to say it didn't recognize a command. All right, but now that you're in there, you want to verify you're in there, you type pwd. You can see, oh, look, now I'm in var home ftp pub. Okay, once you're in here, you want to type ls space minus ltr. And you're going to see all the files in your pub directory. And you can see here are the 3 files I just downloaded. Okay, these are the files I downloaded from the web interface of my S8300. I need to move each of these files to my TFTP directory. And the way you do that is you would type the following: mv VII, and I'm going to type star to / TFTP boot. TFTP boot, right? Boom, it's moved. I'm going to do it again. P330 star boot move mgp star space TFTP boot. Okay, boom, they're all in there. So to verify you moved them, you want to get into the TFTP directory. So you type cd space / TFTP boot. Okay, now you want to type ls. You're going to see there are my files. Visa, VIISA 4_1_2. Here's the P330 file, and here's the MGP file. Okay, so I know I moved them successfully using these commands. All right, so now we are ready to start upgrading our system. So you want to get back to the stacks. And the way you do that, just type exit again. I hit a few enters to make sure I'm at the stack, and that's just for my sanity's sake. But once you're there, you want to see if the stack can talk to the S8300 itself, because the S8300 is your TFTP server. So you type ping 192.168.0.1, and this is my IP address of my 8300. You're obviously not going to type this unless it is, but you're going to type the IP address of your S8300. If it comes back with a reply and it's pinging back okay, and you get this message right here, 5 packets transmitted, 5 packets received, 0% packet loss, you know that your stack can talk to your S8300. I hit enter to come back to the prompt because it doesn't do it automatically. All right. So I know I can talk to it, so I'm pretty much sure 99.9999% that I'm going to be able to upgrade this system successfully. And the way you do this is, now that we know we're ready to go, you're going to type copy TFTP SW _ image, and my image file. My image file is going to be the file name of my Visa. So I'm going to type VIISA 4_1_12.bin, and now I'm going to type EW archive. I believe these are case sensitive, so I would stick to the way they show it in the document, in the G700 upgrade document, but this is the command to do it. And then your file name, and this is the P330 file, T_web_6_0_1.exe space 192, which is my TFTP server, and the module number, and that's 1. The module number is the module number of your gateway. So if you have multiple gateways, you're going to be typing the number here. But if you just have one gateway, you just type 1 and you're good to go. When I hit enter, it's going to go into the upgrade process. There, I hit enter, boom. You can see the download process has started. And it's going to go through all these processes of testing the file and all of that. But I'm going to let you watch this part, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but I want you to see the process that it takes of going through upgrading this thing. There you go. It's done. Both the software image and the EW archive, or the firmware, have been upgraded successfully. So the device manager and the firmware of the system have been upgraded successfully. No warnings, no errors, we're good to go. Now we want to reset the gateway for the first time. And then we're going to go into moving in and resetting, I'm sorry, upgrading the MGP or the Media Gateway Processor itself. So the way you reset this gateway is you type reset 1, or you can just type reset, but you type, whoops, reset 1 for this module, which is module 1, as you can see right at the top here, module 1. So if I do this, it says, would you like to continue? I say yes. It says, okay, resetting. So there you go. So as it resets, it's going to reset the internal system itself. It's going to knock me out of my telnet here shortly. And I'm going to come back, and when you come back, you're going to log back into the stack. All right? So I'll be right back. Okay, it knocked me out, and it reset successfully, so I'm going to log back in, and you can see, bam, it's at 4.1.12, which it already was, but I upgraded it again. And I want to do a show image version. And you're going to see that I'm at 4.1.12, which is okay. And directory, and you can see, boom, now I'm at 6.0.1. So both have upgraded successfully. All right, so that's good because now we can move on to upgrading the MGP itself. And the way you're going to do that is from the stack prompt. You want to type session MGP. When you're in session MGP, you're going to see you're at the super prompt. To do anything invasive or to do anything to do writing, you have to configure. So you type configure. Once you type configure, you're now at the configure prompt. Okay, as you can see here. So from here, you want to see your MGP version. You type show MGP boot image, and you can see that I have 2 banks. All right, I am currently on bank A. All right, so if I want to upgrade my bank B, which I don't have to do, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to make these look identical. And the reason that you do this is you want to keep an older version on one of your banks in case you want to back out and get back to another version quickly, because all you have to do is set the boot bank and reset your gateway and you're good to go. Okay, but we're going to upgrade this one anyway just for giggles, just so you can see the process. All right, so from this point, what you want to do is you want to grab from the TFTP directory again the MGP file that we uploaded, or downloaded, as they call it. So we do that by doing this. Copy TFTP, MGP image, bank. We want to, since we're on A, we're going to upgrade B. So I type B. The image file name itself, which is MGP underscore, hang on, MGP 30, 21, whoops, 21, 0.bin, and then the TFTP address, 192.168.1.160, which is the 8300 that we upgraded or we downloaded all the files to. All right? So when you do that, here's what's going to happen. Goes back into the same kind of status that we saw with the device manager and the firmware. You can see it's downloading. So it's saying, hey, okay, cool. It's downloading. It's giving you percentage, which is kind of a cool thing. Now take note, in newer versions, you actually have to status the download. In the G700s, for some reason, it does it automatically. I don't know why they changed that, because I like this because it won't let me do anything until it's done. Makes sense, right? Anyway, so here you go. It's almost done. It's done downloading it to it. It's going to erase the flash of the MGP itself, and then it's going to write the file to it. So I'll let you watch this as it goes through its process. And there you go. It's all done. That one was pretty quick. All right. So now what you want to do is before we reset the MGP, I want to show you something. If you do show MGP boot image, you're going to see now they match. And the only way for it to take effect is you have to type set MGP boot image. Sorry, my microphone's in the way. We're going to say B, because that's one we just upgraded, as you can see right up here. Bank B. Okay. Now it's done. You know it's there, ready to go. And now what you need to do is you need to reset MGP. Yes. No, I'm gone. All right, so just reset the MGP itself, which means it doesn't knock me out of my stack, I believe. But anyway, it resets that, and after you're done, you can come back in and you can see what you're on. All right, so let me type session MGP. Yeah, see, it's still waiting. So hang on a second, we'll get this bad boy back up and running. Okay, we're back in the MGP itself, and you can notice something. I want you to notice, you can tell that the system is still initializing because there's question marks here because it's not communicating yet with the MGP or the MGC. MGP, MGC, TLAs, three-letter acronyms, you know the thing. Anyway, so what you want to do here is you want to do show image, boot image. Whoops, I'm sorry. Wrong command, show MGP, boot image. Now you can see which one's active. We're on bank B, and you can see it already synced up. Okay, went from question marks to 001. But you can see we're on bank B. Everything's upgraded. There you go. That is it, guys. That is all the steps to upgrade your G700, your MGP, your EW archive, your firmware, and that's it. Once you've upgraded, you're good to go. Okay? So, again, guys, reference the official Avaya document on full steps or full information on all of these steps. You can look at my document for a summary of these steps, but essentially go through the video a few times. If you're not too comfortable doing an upgrade, it is fairly easy once you get used to it. If you happen to have a lab environment, or if you have an extra gateway handy, heck, go for it. You just make sure you have an 8300 in there for this exercise, but go ahead and try upgrading the system. Okay, if you don't have an 8300, use your PC as a TFTP server. If you want to see how to do that, let me know. I'll do a video on that and setting up a TFTP. But remember, every computer is different. It depends on how you set it up, but the basics are all the same. All right, guys? So I really appreciate you watching this video. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm sure you guys will if I messed up something, but I've gone through this process 100 million times. Well, maybe 999,000, whatever. But I've gone through this quite a bit, so I'm pretty confident that there is no issues. The only issues you would have is if you have a hardware problem or a firmware problem, if it got corrupted during download. That happens, but at least the failsafe in the system will not allow it to occur. It'll say, hey, I couldn't read this file, and it will just stop, all right? So you guys should be good to go. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I do appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. I will talk to y'all later.